All right, we're gonna go through the state of play announcements, but before we jump in, sir, so PS5 Pro pre-orders went live yesterday, and I don't think we talked about it last week, right? About the classic.
No,
Maybe
I think we
I
did.
think we did because we talked about the portal, about us wanting the portal.
Very,
So
yeah, very
did you
loosely
see that
while we were
that
playing Streets of Rage.
right? So did you see that that portal was $100 more than the regular portal?
Just because of the design?
It's $299, or was because everything's sold out now, right?
Man.
It's crazy.
I could have seen 50 and that would have been a stretch, but I could have seen that
So
because
I
it's a special edition. But
right,
that's crazy.
it's too much. The regular dual sense it's 80, and the dual sense whatever edge it's 220 I think. So
Oh,
so they had
that
that
hurts.
$1,000 bundle that included everything. That was like a PS5 Pro, um, PS5 Pro with a dual sense edge, and the charging cradle for the controllers for $1,000. And that of course was sold out like immediately. Scalpers were out there selling it for like it went up to like $9,000 on eBay because he went from like 2,000, it went like 1,500, and then he started going up and up and up and up and up, and then the scalpers were like crazy going out there, for those things. Actually, let's go ahead and let's go take a look at it right now.
eBay.
But it's insane, dude. Like I did see that a lot of people were able to get in the Sony Q and were able to actually grab one, right?
Yeah, oh
They
yeah.
were able to grab the bundle and grab the Pro. Like the Pro's still up. Like you can actually go out and still get the Pro if you want it, but not the special color like PS1 color one.
Yeah.
So let's see, PS5 Pro Classic.
Did little Billy get one for
30
Christmas?
3,500. Here's one for 3,500 for the bundle.
No way. So that went from 1K to being resold for 3,500.
3,500 right now. That's the only one that I can find. Let me
Oh
see.
my goodness. That's greed. If you would have doubled, tried to sell for 2,000,
600
that's
for the portal.
what?
Yep. 200 for the regular controllers. Yep.
No, this
Yeah,
is
bro.
crazy.
Yeah.
This is bad.
It's insane. So, man, like it's very disappointing. Like it's very disappointed. Like I've already like um I'm never gonna own a special edition console, like especially from Sony, right? Because this thing is awful. Like the way
Yeah.
they do this is terrible. The scalping and all this is just like it's unacceptable. So I'm not even gonna go through like the um through the process of even trying to get this. It's like I don't care, right? They sold them
Right.
whatever. I just don't care. Um I am being tempted, however, on going on the Pro because again, Sony did the right thing where hey, let's get Digital Foundry to take a look at these games and have them put it out there. So they did a some analysis out there, and it seems like yeah, it does make a difference, and it looks pretty good. Uh, you know, but again, going back, I just in my head I still can't justify the price. Like if
No,
if
no.
this would have been the same, if this would have replaced the regular PS5 and would have included the disc, heck yeah, bro, I'll be on pre-order right now. But no, no, this not this thing. Like,
Yeah.
um, I just can't justify it, and I'm holding out for Nintendo, dude. Again, I was like, whenever Nintendo announces their thing, like I'm gonna try and be there day one. But you know, when it comes to like any special edition anything, like I'm not gonna go through and try and get it. It's not worth my time. So it's
No.
unfortunate. It looks cool, right? I can deal with my black and white uh, PS5. It doesn't do anything for me. Like I got a little PS1 or classic color sticker on it that makes it look classic. So I'm good with that. But they went ahead and put out a full list of games that have PS5 Pro support. So the list is out there. IGN has an article on it if you guys want to take a look at that. But yeah, they got a bunch of games. So
Yeah.
that's cool. All right, let's go ahead and do Sir State of Play and start with a brand spanking new game, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered.
Remasters are to be expected at this
Okay,
point. It's a constant theme.
here's how I feel about this game and about the remaster. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it getting a remaster. Especially like there's you can tell the difference. As someone that played that game extensively, you can tell the difference.
Okay.
That said, in my opinion, this game is better than Forbidden West. Let me rephrase that. This game's story is better than Forbidden West. I think the story is better, the character progression is better, and some of the side quest stuff is better.
Yeah.
Forbidden West does give you a lot of freedom when it comes to traversing and all that. I think Forbidden West does it much better, and to be expected, right? But I think this game is phenomenal. If you never played this game, and you happen to have it on like your PS Plus thing, see if you can get the $10 upgrade and play it on PS5. This game is excellent. Like putting all my biases aside, right? This is not for me. I played that game a ton. I have zero plans of going back to it. But if you never played this game, you should do yourself a favor and play it. But how do you feel about this? Not a game that's fairly recent. So what do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's really not that old, but I have to remind myself this was a big PS4 game, and sometimes there's a little bit of that recency bias where you in your mind imagine it better than what it maybe actually is. And when you play next gen or what's current gen at this moment of PS5 games, it's not gonna hold up its same ability or not hold up. It's not gonna be able to maybe project it to what you might think it's worthy of, and people really love this game. So this remastering is a way of preserving games and their experiences beyond their original release. And clearly, this is a game that grew quickly into the hearts of the PlayStation fan community. So it's a great way to continue it on. And the other big important thing that people need to know: if you already have a PS4 version of this, you can upgrade to the PS5 version for $10. So they're not trying to make you go and rebuy the whole game again. You can literally upgrade for $10, and that's kindness. That's the way you treat your fandom. And for those who haven't played it yet, well, guess what? You get to play this now and a brand new experience. And that's it's a win-win at that point. I
Right.
think this is the right way to handle it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. You can buy physical copies like they're cheap for this game. This
Right.
game's everywhere. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Monster Hunter Wilds got a release date announcement February 28th of next year. Oh, and Horizon comes out Halloween this year.
Yeah.
So October 31st. Yep, Monster Hunter October 28th, 2025. This game looks real good. This game may be the game that makes me jump into Monster Hunter because I really wanted to jump into World, but I was too late by then. I was like, I don't want to really go into that. But
Yeah.
yeah, that game looks real good. So, looking forward to that hitting and see how it's received. So, yep. They announced some Astrobot DLC. Astrobot keeps doing really well. That game has been very well received. So, um, they're putting out content for it out there. So that's great. A couple of smaller stuff that they announced. They announced Pal World coming out on PS4. So, like, it's shadow dropped. I don't. this game is such a blatant ripoff of Pokemon that it's I just
Getting
found I
sued.
hmm? Yeah, they're getting
It's getting
sued.
sued.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're getting sued by the Pokemon company, and um they released it in the U.S. They did not release it in Japan. So the game they didn't want to overstep their boundaries. Although like as soon as I saw this game, it's like why is it like um I, let's talk about this real quick. The reason why when I saw it, I was like, why is Nintendo not jumping on this? It seems like the way they were really smart on how they actually filed that lawsuit, because they didn't just uh, file it for like copyright infringement. They or just like, oh, this looks too much like our game. Like they said, it was like, oh no, there's like stuff here, like mechanics that are ours, and they're using them. So
Hmm.
like they were really smart about that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I have no interest in that game, so I'm good. Metro Awakening VR game coming out November 7 for PSVR 2. Also coming for Meta Quest devices. Let's see. Okay, here's a big one for me. Lunar Remastered Collection. So, if you're not familiar, Lunar originally released on the Sega CD. So this is the Lunar games. Both Lunar games are probably the best two Sega CD games that were released. JRPGs, RPGs through and through. There was a version for PS1 that came out later on, but then it never came back after that. So it's great to see that the Lunar games are getting a remaster and are coming out together as a bundle. Great games. So if you're into retro JRPGs, highly recommend them. They're real good. They're real good, like legit. So highly recommend those. Yeah, Shredder's Revenge DLC. We already mentioned that. Okay, so here's one that's super lazy because this thing is beloved and I think it deserved better. And it's the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver remasters that
Hmm.
are coming out. I think this should have been a full blown like remake for like actually like from the ground up make this new. I think it deserved better because the man those PS2 looking graphics,
25 years old.
it's rough, dude. It looks like a Dreamcast game, and I don't know, man. Well, I think Soul Reaver 2 came out on Dreamcast, so
Yeah.
I can't. It probably looks better in my it probably looks better in my mind, but I think this game's deserved better. I think
Yeah.
this should have been a remake. So, but hey, you know what? You're getting a remaster. Legacy came Soul Reaver 1 and 2. Interesting that the original Legacy came, I guess, relegated to PS1 because not sure why. So or PS1, there was a Saturn version for that. I think there was a Saturn version for Legacy came. So another Hitman 3 VR. So there's another VR game coming up. Sonic. There's a Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. There's a Keanu Reeves DLC for that. That got announced. That game comes out pretty soon. I think it comes out. I think the DLC comes out in December, but the game comes out in a couple weeks, if I'm not wrong, either next week or the week after. So, Lego Horizon Adventures that comes out on November 14th, PS5, Switch, and PC, and that looks pretty charming to me. So it's pretty interesting. So DLC for Alan Wake 2, new colors, kind of like metallic colors. How do you feel about that all white controller? That looks real nice, right?
No, no, I think it's wonderful. I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah,
I I don't have a need for it, but I want it, and I
yeah.
want
It
it.
looks real pretty. I like it. It reminds me of the PS1, like the
Oh
PS1, the
yeah,
console, the little one,
well, yeah,
because it was like a
yeah.
white shade. It wasn't gray like the like
Yeah.
the original PS1, so or PlayStation, I should say. But yeah. All right, and I guess the big one, Ghost of Yotei, which is prequel sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. I can't remember
Yep.
if this
Yep.
was either before or after on the timeline, and it looks incredible. Looks incredible. Um, I I like man, like people are dumb. Like what? This is great, and I get it. And you and I have talking about on or making a separate podcast and put it on the Patreon about a certain company that
Hmm. Yeah.
has been meddling with creative freedom for a few years.
Yeah.
Don't want to get into that. That said, yeah, dude, there were samurai girls back then. You didn't know, like,
Yeah.
it's a thing, right? It's so there was some. I don't want to say it was a lot, but there were a few very vocal, very well known gaming personalities, I should say, that were critical of the main character being switched from Jin Sakai to a female protagonist for this game. I don't mind it at all, man. Like people are weird. I don't care. This game's probably gonna be freaking incredible, and I'm here for it. And this is day one buy for me. Like there's no going around it. So I don't care. I don't care. Like based on the trailer,
I
you may
know.
have like a wolf companion too, dude. Nah, man. This game looks great. Um, if you can complain all you want, and that's fine. You can say whatever.
Yeah.
Joe, I have opinions about outside forces meddling with creative freedom, and we can talk about that. We can talk about that later. Oh, I see that I'm freezing up a little bit, sir. Am I good?
Yep.
Am I good? Am I
You're,
back?
you're you're still a little frozen.
I'm
Still a little
frozen.
frozen.
Uh,
Still a little frozen. We can
uh.
hear you. We can hear
Hey,
you though.
okay,
We can, no, you're
okay,
back. You're back.
all
You're
right.
back.
So I have strong feelings about that, and we can get together and we can talk about it at a later time. But what do you think of what you saw, man? Because the first game is incredible. So
Yeah, I feel like most people you would expect positive reaction to it, and I'm one of those people that am in that same majority. That I think this looks really good. I'm excited about it. I have to be completely transparent. I have not played the first original one. I know there's a director's cut out there. That's kind of what I want to get my hands on and play that
yeah,
first. So I need to make sure I do that. They're giving me time to catch up to it. But no, I this is a specific like also kind of like stylization period region based game that I think is not, I won't say lacking, but just there's not as many games that exist like this in its own style, and that's what I think makes it extra special. It's a unique experience that many people can play, and from what I've seen, the love has been so good that aren't they supposed to be like working on a movie or a TV show or something based
there's a
on
movie.
even this the
Yeah,
first one, something like that?
yep.
Yeah, like these are cinematics. So I'm excited to play the first one. But hopefully this is good. But from what I'm seeing of it, this was the showstopper, and what a great way to end your state of play. Going into this new quarter of the year essentially.
Yeah. No, that first game is so good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to like they said that there's gonna be some more other media for that game out there. I'm looking forward to it. Um, I didn't have it on the notes, but I just remembered Assassin's Creed getting delayed. What's up with
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I'm okay with this, quality over rushed games, and Assassin's Creed has had a problem with that for a while, where they just pushed those games out really quickly to get to an annual basis, and they started to lose a lot of quality. And I still played them anyway. We know, and clearly trying to avoid that here. My hope is that whatever bugs and major issues that they have, they're able to get it right. But it won't be until next year, guys. I think February, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
of
February
next year. Actually,
14th.
that's
Yeah.
coming out, which is okay. You know what? That's okay. Hey, Valentine's Day. You know what,
Hey,
Obed?
there you go, sir.
Valentine's Day, I'm gonna be sitting there playing
Treat,
some
treat
Assassin's Creed.
yourself.
Yeah, that would be a gift to me. But no, I like it. I like it. This is
Yeah.
good. And I'm okay. I'm okay with waiting. It's worth the wait. Hopefully. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that. It's
I,
optimistic side of me.
yeah, it seems like there's I, I don't think there's there's something necessarily wrong with the game. I think it's more of I think they are listening to some of the criticism that they've got and probably reworking some stuff when it comes to like the story of the game or content. And that's fine, right? If you're like I know that I mean Assassin's Creed is like it's pseudo historical. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have
Yeah.
to be one on one. Like I talk about Black Flag all the time. How how great that game is, and
Absolutely.
it's like how dare you do a pirate game and not go to Puerto Rico? And it's like, come on, guys, like really,
Oh.
guys, really,
Yeah.
really, and uh, there's some as someone that for a little bit I was a huge like Caribbean history nerd. um
Yeah.
there were some I was like, oh, it's not accurate, but sure, I'll roll with it, and that's totally fine, right? It's crazy to see people getting like super offended for like
I
this
know.
for shadows, and it's like, dude, whatever, it's a game.
Not. Yeah, it's a
Like,
video
do
game.
you don't see people complaining about Dynasty Warriors? Dynasty Warriors, there's a new Dynasty Warriors coming
True.
out. And you don't
Yeah.
see people complaining about, you know, Lubu and others like, oh, that's not, it's like, oh, that's not, no, like, Nobunaga wasn't actually, like, what, like, Onimusha is like, Nobunaga wasn't actually, like, a real demon king. Like, they called him
Right.
that because he was, like, trying to take over, but he wasn't really a demon, right? It's like,
Right.
it's
Right.
ridiculous. There was nothing
Creative
like
liberty.
supernatural about it. It was just that
Correct.
it was just a name. But games do portray him as like Demon King or whatever, and
Totally.
it's like it's ridiculous. It's a video game. I mean, people need to friggin' like enjoy and gaming and whatever they're doing and just forget about like suspension of disbelief, right? It's like, could you imagine me going to watch like Fast and the Furious and every 5 seconds be like, that's completely impossible because
It's hard
physics.
not to do.
It's
It's
hard
hard
not to
not
do
to do.
like because
But
physics. It's
going
ridiculous.
into it.
Like when it started happening a lot in Fast and the Furious, I would be
Yeah.
like, wait, this is like not accurate. Like towards the end, I just didn't care. It's like car grew wings and started flying like a freaking Pegasus. I don't get whatever. What like you do you. And it's the same with the Bond movies. Come on, those movies are ridiculous. It's like
Yeah.
you're not gonna be pointing out everything that's inaccurate on everything. Like people need to just enjoy, right? Like how about just sit down, enjoy the game, don't worry about playing a girl, and if he, yeah, and at the end of the day, who cares, right? And that's my thing. At the end of the day, who freaking cares? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter to me. So, yeah, I think it was an okay show. They did it. They really, ended with a bit of a cliffhanger there. But there are rumors that for 2025 they will like Sony does have a much more robust um, plan and for games coming out. Like Ghost of Tsushima comes out next year. I'm assuming Wolverine comes out next year. I don't know.
I don't think so.
You don't
I
think
think
so?
that's 2020. I don't think so. I think that's
Man,
2026.
that's far. It's far in.
I know.
So there's stuff happening. There's great games coming out this year. The Marvel Capcom Collection came out. It comes out in physical in November. Um, yeah, unfortunately, Assassin's Creed doesn't come out this year, but you got Dragon Ball, you got RPGs from the Persona team. There's stuff happening, and there's still good games coming out for the rest of the year. I heard Outlaws has gotten better with like patches and
Yeah.
additions. So maybe that's gonna be like the game that I get for the holidays, or maybe I'll get that Refantasio game, just play an RPG and relax. So, but yeah, there's stuff out there. There's options, and if you can score a PS5 Pro, hey, heck yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So
Don't donate one to us.
yeah, go ahead. We can definitely use a review copy for it. So I would need a disk drive on it to make sure that everything works properly. So I gotta make sure that
True.
we're fully operational, sir.